Very cool. Very cool. Obviously, the word has gotten out that I do a striptease act in about 5 minutes into the show. Yeah. Sir, where are you going? Or you could be cheering the jersey. We have now identified all the liberals in the room. I don't know what they're doing out. They're playing bad. It's got to be so confusing. I mean, I'm not registered anything. I'm a registered dumbass. But if you're registered either red or blue, it's really confusing. It's like a constant contradiction, and you just keep going with it. Like, what he said. Yeah. But I can't get too deep into this because I have to get through the pinchy disclaimer. This is my shtickla, oy vey smear, and we have to put out a disclaimer, especially these days and these times, trying to get the word out and keep it out and not get deleted, basically, or sued or anything like that. So, real quick, let's get the pinchy disclaimer done and my shtickla. Disclaimer number one, as you probably have heard by now, I'm not funny whatsoever. This has been fully disclosed, so if you are either disappointed or you find yourself laughing, we take no responsibility for that whatsoever. We suck at this. Disclaimer number two, very, very important disclaimer. Everything I say tonight comes right out of, my sphincter muscle, which actually has more knowledge than my brain. So either way, whatever I say tonight is complete misinformation, and if you take it as intelligent advice in any field of your life, if you remember anything from this show, I would definitely take a Xanax or 3 so that you can forget it if you have it on hand right now. That way you don't retain anything by the end of the show. That's probably a good idea. And last but not least, I'm not to be confused by with anyone. I am certainly not Colin Kaepernick. I got you. I know. But I do play him. I play him in this show. So, for that matter, I am him. But no, I'm not him in real life. So don't confuse. It's just a role. I'm just playing a role. Okay, I'm just wearing a jersey. What I'm really wearing it is for solidarity for my Bay Area brethren, who again seems like every 3 to 5 years, 2 to 4 years since 1967, they've been under a lot of let's just say pressure. This is their second or third epidemic that they're being blamed for. And then, every day, they just have to, they're just getting, they got to be how did we, just 2 weeks ago, we were the Super Bowl darlings, and we were having Super Bowl parties, and we all had posters of Jimmy G, and he was just so beautiful. He was the all-American quarterback coming back, and man, how did we go from that to... we even had the Golden State Warriors. We knew we were coming back. Our boy was just getting off the bench. He was ready to go, throw up those threes. Yo! Now, we are absolutely fucked. Man. And they just look back and they're just like, this is like our third epidemic that we've been blamed for. They wake up and they stare at Alcatraz, though, all the time. They're like, this is a reminder. Yeah. Not too many people get in the park and dance, because then they really start coming down hard on us and start slipping us weird transcopic drugs. It's tough. It's tough. We all just want to go back to the Super Bowl when things were normal, when we were all absolutely brain dead and very concerned about buffalo wings And I don't even want to mention the other things we were concerned with. We were really a debaucherous culture before this happened. But we loved it because, I still love it. It was a great I want to go back to eating my buffalo wings and throwing a half a bag of chips away because my friend put his hands in it. Now I don't even believe in that shit. He could literally scratch his balls, go into the Ruffles bag, and I'd be like, I'm back in. That's how much research I've done. It's like I want to go back. And by the way, that Super Bowl was those were my two favorite teams playing together. I'm a huge fan of Maroon. Okay? Huge fan of anything scarlet to maroon. Kansas City, San Francisco was my scarlet wet dream. Been a long time for Frisco, and I wasn't even born the last time we saw the old Chiefs in the game. And so to see both of them playing each other, everyone knew they were both my favorite team, and they called it my bowl and everything like that. And boy, was that shit fixed. Those are my two favorite teams. I'm telling you, that shit was fixed. And it was fixed even before the game because the real drama would have been this man right here, the Capper, versus the McDaddy in Kansas City. Now you don't tell me that's two alpha males going at it. I mean, Cappy would bury him, but you know, this shit was fixed. That was man. Man, and I couldn't lose, and I thought that was fixed. I was like, that was some big shit. It's amazing, and you wonder like, well, how's that done? You can't get everyone's got to play hard, dude. It always comes down to one dude. One dude. Comes down to one dude. Not doing his job at the perfect time. I know about this because I'm that dude. And I get fired left and right from coffee shops. I get fired from retail. I get fired from phone sales positions. I fire myself on the golf course because when I'm in a good position, I always fail to do the good thing. I fail to shine continuously through my life because I was circumcised. But that's not the point. That is the trauma base, though. Remember. But anyways, and so I get it. I get it. I get the fact that happens. But nobody's paying me to do it is the problem. And so I just keep failing and getting no rewards out of the situation. These guys, they get paid real nice to fail in the right situation. I'm just waiting. Today I was playing golf and I was sitting 90 yards out, no wind, center of the fairway, looking just tight. Pulled out that pitching wedge, just gonna take a little easy. Decided, no, go for the gap wedge, go fool. Didn't really fucking matter either way. I was throwing it into the woods on the right. And where was whoever's in charge running up to me going, can you do that on TV? I will pay you big if you can do that on TV. But that doesn't happen. I just end up having to buy everyone drinks. Golf was fucking weird. It was the first time we went out for sanctioned golf. I say sanctioned because, we've been sneaking on the golf course, and we're still sneaking on the golf course, but now the employees are there, and there's actual players and people paying, so we're getting caught, and then we're having to go back and pay. So that's kind of unfortunate. We were hoping that would stay closed for fuck's sake, play golf for free all year, just ruin the grass. I love how people lay the golf course in their grass. It's like, oh my God. It's like, I don't know. It's like my wife and the conditioner in the shower. I don't know. Something like that. Who am I kidding? I don't have a wife. That's why I couldn't figure out how to analogize that. And I was like, what do men do? How do men and women coexist in a house anyways? I mean, especially when like they don't have kids and they're just pretending to like play family and have a dog. I love when they get the dog instead of the kid. And they're like, what happened. Like the woman kind of like provoked a subtle conversation about having babies, and dude was like, "I want to be financially ready," and she looked at him like, "You'll never be financially ready to pick up the check for my family when they come into town, much less have a baby." I'm hoping the baby will snap something into you, but if we're waiting for you to get snapped first, well, can we get a dog? And he's like, "Yeah, let's get a dog. Let's get 2 dogs. I love dogs." And then they like never take the dog for a walk, and the dog's, you know, clawing the walls and shitting everywhere, and the neighbors hate the dog, and people with kids look at them and go like, "Why didn't you just have kids? What the fuck are you doing with this dog? You look like an idiot. You're picking up shit off the grass with a bag in your hand, carrying it to that trash can half a mile. You look stupid." That dog doesn't love you. He's manipulating you. Especially if it's about the cats. The cats are definitely hunting you. So, what do you think the dog is doing? Yeah. It's funny. You see it everywhere though. And so, it's like dog parks is couples night these days. It used to be singles night, but now it's couples night. It's just all couples hanging out on Friday night at dog parks. Like, this is our life. This is our family. We're 3. They take family pictures with their dogs, 2 of them. We trust each other enough to have a dog together. Ah. So, poor San Francisco. I mean, Super Bowl, then super fucking lockdown. Super scary. A lot of super stuff. Go see you guys with super fires. It's just rough. It's rough. I miss Jimmy G. When life was just about Jimmy G. Jimmy football. I can't bear to watch, I picked up my DraftKings account and I threw it across that was the end of that phone. They wanted me to bet on simulations. They're doing fantasy games of simulations on like John Madden football and computer simulations. Well, of course I bet on it, but I still broke my phone because I was like, this is so fucking stupid. It's a horrible time for men. And they hold all the guns, and this is not good. If I was a woman, I would put the men on double house arrest, so they would be locked in a room and you could have access to the whole house. Because just give them cable TV, they'll be fine. If you ask them to interact in close spaces, perpendicular to each other, to other beings, too much, they're not prepared for that. They're not prepared for that. My friend was like, they're psyoping us. Like, men can't even cry these days. Do you cry? And I was like, yeah, I cry every night. You've seen where I live in my life. It's pretty sad. It's pretty pathetic. What are you gonna do? You have to cry, right? He's like, wow, that's amazing. I haven't cried in like 10 years. And I was like, you're a lawyer and your wife is beautiful and your kids are geniuses. I wouldn't cry if I were you either, asshole. People hate when you're happy. You know this. Everyone knows this. And so the happy people always have to like play it down. Just like the knowledgeable people have to play it down. Like somebody comes over and starts talking about the virus and stuff and you're looking at them like you're talking about Santa Claus, but you can't say that. And so you just kind of smile. You're like, ah. You'll pop a question. Do you ever think the government lies? Oh, yeah, the government lies to us. Not about this, though, right? Oh, they're lying to us. It's worse than it is. Okay. And so the knowledgeable people are always just like refraining from talking because they've either sent their friends into epileptic seizures in the middle of their kitchen by, saying something, and the dissonance comes out and the person just throws themselves on the ground like wet fish, and they're like, you're wrong, screaming and shit. Or two, they'll, the second worst thing is if they do say something, um, they're just ostracized. And it's like, well, I'll never talk to you again. My kids can't come over. My parents, can you lose my number, please, immediately? And you're like, all I said was Jesus was possibly created by Romans. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough. And so it's rough to be in San Francisco right now. The Golden Gate Bridge is, I just can't imagine that thing so empty. That's rough. That's rough to think about. It really is. It really is. And everything's moving so fast, as it always does in these circumstances. The legislation, and I'm confused. Is the stimulus the same as the War Act, or was the War Act needed for the stimulus? I don't understand. Like, unless we're killing people, we can't get a stimulus. Is that how it works? Unless there's death on the ground, So either way, whatever was an 800-page legislation that popped up out of nowhere the night before. How does this always happen? I think Homeland Defense that was like 2,000 pages, and again that popped up. Like, who's not asking the question, like, where did this come from? Have you guys had this prepared? No, we haven't had this prepared. We wrote it last night. That woman right there, she typed it. She's a really exceptional typist. She can type like the wind. She typed the whole thing. And she's sitting there on the stage like, kind of like the if you followed the black hole story, the woman who discovered or took a picture of a first black hole. Yeah, she doesn't really want to be a public figure very much. She was just getting railed by every geocentrist that ever was created. And her quote was just hilarious, like, well, it's an interpretation based on about 1 million pixels that could really be like the cock of an elephant. But this is what we think it is. So, same thing. I mean, the whole thing, like, you got to see, like, whether it's like, yeah, we just wrote 2,000 pages of legislation last night. It's inspired by God. We stayed up all night. We drank coffee. It was the coffee. A little bit of blow, but mostly the coffee. She typed it. Talk to her. You want to come up here and talk about your typing? How fast you type that? She types. She could do it right away now. I was dictating to her. I didn't even have to talk to her. We, as a legislation, sat down, closed our eyes, and focused on the phallic symbol. What's that thing called outside of our building? I'm not going to remember. That big, tall phallic thing that sticks out of me. Oh, the obelisk. The obelisk. I remembered. All of you, I didn't teach you that. All of you knew that. I was the only one in the room that didn't know that the big penis outside of Congress was an obelisk in Egypt and here and all that stuff. So they were sitting down, focused on the obelisk, focused all their energy, doing some remote viewing. And that remote viewing was transcribed into her head, and she was able to type it. And then she did A Course in Miracles, the sequel. She's almost done. She has to go back and finish the last part right now. I mean, come on. No, we didn't have this prepared. 800 pages. No, it was very fine print. And nobody reads it. We didn't have time to read it, so we just voted on it. It was such an emergency. 2,000 pages. We didn't have time to read it. Sorry. It's and then they come up to announce it, and they're just doing this to fuck, just to laugh at you, just to mock you. They get everybody and anybody they can on this tiny little stage, and they're absolutely nuts to butts. I mean, I have a feeling that, like, right before they come on, the Trumpster's like, all right, we need some extra, you right there, the guy handling the curtain, you, sir, in a suit. Good thing you came in a suit. Come with me. You come with me. And let's just see how many people we can get on this stage while everyone else is standing 6 feet apart from each other, trying to have sex. They're like sweating on each other, breathing. I mean, they're on a stage this big, Some of them have 1 foot off the stage, balancing on one leg, just trying to stay on there. Um, they are definitely not abiding by the rules anywhere in that DC corridor. When they come out with masks, then we'll be talking. But, I doubt that's going to happen. I don't know. Maybe. At this point, you just don't know. What I do know is we missed the Super Bowl already. We missed gambling. I mean, I think about all of the people out of work right now or having to close down businesses. I think about all the prostitutes. I feel terrible for them. I mean, drug dealers are doing good. And prostitutes, unless you got a good call-in number or you got a hot Twitter account, you're probably having a hard time right now. I think drug sales are up, though. I definitely think drug sales are up. Of course, they announced today that they're going after the cartels. In Spanish, cartel means freedom fighter, but take that for what it's worth. I don't know Spanish. This was told to me third hand. But there's a lot of jobs that are just being lost. Obviously, the waitresses, the waiters, the bar industry, the bar owners, a lot of, everyone that we kind of rely on to relieve us of all the shit we go through in a week. Basically, anyone who knows how to show us a good time, they've been fired. You, sir. Too much fun. You are way too much fun. Too many people come gather around here. No. No fun. This is the no fun virus. Okay? No fun. I don't care about the summertime. Don't talk to me about summertime. I'll tell you about summertime, all right? I'll tell you what's going on in summertime. You'll be lucky if you get another Super Bowl. I mean, that would be the last straw. We got another Super Bowl. I thought, they called off sports. I mean, I can see now how logistically it was impossible, but it was like, you're not even going to try something? I know. I heard Phil and Tiger are going to try to do something. They're going to try to play each other just to keep the sports thing going, just by themselves out there with a mic. Boomers. Yeah. No, they're not. They're under boomers. They're Generation X. But they act like boomers. They might as well be boomers. They're like the boomers of the Generation X clan. But yeah, I got to hit the golf today, and they got some crazy rules right now out there for us golfers. You can't get a golf cart. You absolutely have to walk. And I know a lot of golfers out there. Some of you guys like to walk. Any of you guys like to walk when you play golf? Yeah. Real athletic. I did 9 today. Yeah. We're done. We're done. We're out of here. We're done. You guys are crazy. You cannot play bad golf and walk. The fairways are 30 yards across, some 50 yards across. I'm hitting it 20 yards off the fairway. I'm going back and forth 140 yards 3 times before I hit the green, which is 120 yards on this one par 3. If it's a par 4, I'm going across 6, 7 times. By hole number 3, I was having leg cramps. I was sweating. There's no cart girl right now. So you got to bring your beer. I mean, I brought my beer, but bringing your beer when you're walking is like a disaster. You start dumping that out as fast as you can, chugging it as fast as you do. It was a disaster. You couldn't get, there were restrictions on touching the flagpole. So they had a little contraption where it would kind of kick your ball back like a little wall. Which obviously touch didn't matter at that point. We just started rifling at him, like, bang. Which I thought it was just going to be, everything 6 feet in is a gimme. That would just make sense, right? But it was some strange golf. Obviously, no high fives. We thought everybody, the marshal was watching. We thought the marshal would report us for anything, really. He was driving by so many times. Um, it was weird. It was weird. We weren't allowed in the clubhouse. We weren't allowed in the bar after the round. No 19th hole. It was just like, please exit stage right. Get the fuck out right now. Kind of felt like I was at a show or something. It was not fun. It wasn't golf, But they're open, so that's something. We can go play golf and pretend like we're rich and like we're not scared that tomorrow everything's gonna be gone. But I'm not falling for a lot of these now. There's a lot of scenarios that I fell for over the last 4 weeks, and yeah, nobody's talking to me now ever since I started talking about those scenarios. But I've really been able to wrestle some of them down. For instance, the cashless society one, that one's total bullshit. I can't see that happening anytime soon. Cash is still king, baby. Throw your dollars up right now. Put them in here. All over me. Yeah, I'll take this off. I'll take the Kaepernick off. You throw some dollars up. Sorry, I was kidding. I'm not taking this jersey off. There's no fucking way. But cash is king. You got to understand, if what everyone thinks is true is that all the governments are run by crime syndicates that even date back to some of our biggest crime godfathers, back in the early turn of the century, then you got to understand that they're still running those crime organizations. And you can't run a good drug cartel on a digital on a digital currency. That's not going to work. Homie's not going to be holding down the ghetto with your crack product on a credit card machine or an Apple box or, Apple Square. It's not going to happen. Although I have seen a lot of homies doing it. But it ain't going to go down like that. No one's going to transfer the original 5 pounds, the original 35 or $25,000. Where do you live? I'm sorry, the original $65,000 where you're from. No one's going to transfer that digitally. Darknet or not. Bitcoin or not. And they all need their prostitutes. Ain't no prostitute taking cards. I mean, I know some of them do. But it ain't working like that. It doesn't work like that. Cash is hot. Cash can be hidden. We don't want to hide our cash. We don't have any cash to hide. We try to hide it from ourselves so we don't spend it. I try to get my last $10 and I go and hide it, and then I get my last quarter of weed and I take it and hide it and I try to forget about it. But that's not me trying to hide capital or launder money. That's me because I'm broke and I hope I don't find it, so that when I do need it, I hope I can find it. ¿Sabes? Pinche. Pero the people that are hiding cash, the people that are laundering cash, they're the people. They're the ones. They are. You know who they are. So you think they want to cashless society? You think they want to handle they want to put all that stuff on record on a digital currency? I don't think so. And the smell of money. We're all addicted to the smell of money. We love the smell of money. We love it. It's just like, you know what it smells like. You know, sir. I know you know. You've been radical tonight. You know what that smells like. And we all know what that smells like. And we all know that anyone that is anybody in this world, that became anybody, that is running anything in this world, is doing it with amphetamines. All of them are on Adderall, cocaine, or something. And there's no better way to show your power in this world than to roll up a century note and put it up your nose. If you're in my class and you're hanging out in the world that I hang out with, you do a dub. If you roll a dub, you might get laid that night. A girl's like, dude, rolled a dub up, not a dollar bill. My last boyfriend did a coupon and rolled it up. No, I did a dub. Dub set. But these guys like to roll up C notes. if they got a five, so you know they'll do a $500 bill. They'll get that thing all full of coke. They'll lick it up. They don't care where the shit's been. We love cash. We love to throw. What are you gonna do? Throw your credit cards at the strippers? One of them's gonna get in her eye. Ah! What the fuck, motherfucker? And she gotta pick them all up and then sit there for a minute with her all her stuff hanging out and just start ringing it all. How much did you send me? $2? $3? Oh, big spender. Nothing works digitally. Life is not sexy or fun or happening digitally. Okay? And I assume if you're part of a crime syndicate, those are all words you enjoy when nobody's watching. Or if you're Trump, whenever, when the fuck ever I can do this shit. I can do whatever I want. So, cash is king. No cashless society now. 5G, yeah, that's coming. You're already done. Forget about that. You weren't using your brain anyways. They're giving you like 4 weeks right now to use your brain. And they know, like, well, whatever they learn, we're going to zap out of them. And so there's a technology right now by Samsung I heard about. It's called the spoiler remover. All right. And that's not something for, like, I don't know, a sibling in your family or something like that. And it's actually so that you can forget about episodes so that you can watch them again. Yeah. Soon you'll be able to forget about your wife so you can fall in love with her again. Or not. We saw this. It was a Jim Carrey movie, right? It's now real. It's all real. It's all way too real. Like, we were talking about Haight-Ashbury in the 60s earlier. We used to take acid in the early 80s and early 90s to kind of like get away from reality and step into that other world. And now everything is that other world. It's so fucked up reality that we're taking acid and mushrooms to come back to a sane sense of reality to kind of calm things. I feel so much saner here with all the tracers and everything. At least there's not politicians flying across my screen. It's gone all backwards, And I can't help but to think that Super Bowl is just, it was fixed, but it was beautiful. It was as maroon as you can get. Scarlet to maroon, gorgeous. And it's good. It was the last really sane moment that I remember. I was worried about the NFL fixing games and whether or not Kaepernick could kick daddy's ass. Now, the things I worry about, I'm almost positive I'm getting sympathetic sickness just from worrying about it so much. I'm positive it's got to be what it is. I'm not even sick. I don't feel sick or anything like that, but I'm just like, as much as I'm worrying right now, I gotta get away from this, I gotta find another perspective, another way of understanding. So I have decided that the only way to really find peace and alignment in this situation is to capitalize on it. I mean, really, really, really capitalize on it. Kind of like when Colorado went legit and we just all became really expert shippers. All of a sudden, everybody had a real steady pen pal. Some of you might not know what I'm talking about. Got to come visit or find a friend in Colorado. It's a time where everyone has just let you fucking down. I mean, and I don't mean to pick on, I won't even say his name. Let's just say spiritually, financially, government-wise, role models, wellness experts, spiritual experts, astrologers that don't believe in geocentrism. everything, we've all let each other down. I fucking let you guys down tonight. I wasted all your fucking time. I'm really sorry about that. I don't even know who told you to come or why Anyways, we've all let each other down. But certainly, the people that we relied on for leadership, information, and inspiration have really, really let us down. And so I think if there's one message right now, that is, no matter how fucking stupid you look in a golf hat, or how fucking whatever, no matter what you think of yourself, this is your time to shine, baby. Because it's never been clearer that we are totally being led by a pack of ... Go ahead and send me your answers. Till then, I appreciate you. Take care. Be happy.